The Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, also known as the OECD, has slashed its projections for global growth, citing the ongoing US-China trade war as the main cause. It's trimmed its growth target to 3.2%. That's down 1% from its estimations earlier this year. In the report, which provides an economic outlook for its 36 member countries and other major economies as well, it urged governments around the world to resolve those trade disputes, which they say is destabilizing the global economy. Now, despite the doom and gloom, it has raised its forecast for 2020, though, where activity is expected to rise to some 3.4%. For more on this report and the outlook, let's cross over now to Elena Casas. She joins us live from Paris. Elena, there's some stern words there out of the OECD today. How do you see this impacting policymakers and central banks? Are they going to take notice?
Well, the OECD's strongest warning is for the government of Donald Trump. The report says that in a worst-case scenario, the US-China trade war, if it escalates any further, could cost the global economy $600 billion in the next year. That would mean the US economy would take a hit of 0.8% and China's one of 1.1%. Now, the report emphasizes that while President Trump has said many times that China is paying for the tariffs, actually, of course, tariffs imposed by the US on Chinese imports eventually end up costing US companies money that they end up passing on to US consumers, which then hits consumer demand in the US. So it could significantly slow down the US economy, the report says. Of course, though, the Trump administration seems to be very wedded to pushing forward this trade dispute with China, and it seems unlikely that this warning from an international think tank will change US policy.
All right, but the US economy is projected to see a pickup this year. It's already blown past many expectations, but not so much for China, is it?
Absolutely. The report does point out that the negative consequences of the trade war will be heavier on China's side, and also that the OECD's economists are concerned about debt building up within the Chinese economy that isn't being paid off. So certainly they do say the consequences are worse for China, which lacks other export markets for some of its products if the US starts to put up more trade walls. But a big slowdown in China could, of course, have wide-ranging consequences throughout the world, and economists make this clear that it's a worrying prospect.
Elena, thank you very much for that perspective there. Elena Casas, they're reporting for us from Paris.